The final mod workshop here at Dreamhack Dallas. I am by myself today, so essentially it's just a Robeytech episode live here at the show, but here with Intel. What we have been doing all week is we have been heading into the BYOC, or all weekend, sorry, feels like a week, heading into the BYOC area, finding somebody absolutely awesome in need of a great PC upgrade, and bringing them over here, and we're going to introduce them actually right now. Robert, you want to come on? Oh, where's your PC? Go get your PC. Okay, so we're going to have him go get his PC, but we have Robert who's going to be joining us. We're going to be showing off his PC, and then we're going to be building him a brand new system, and then he gets to go take it back for about 20 minutes and gets to play with it afterwards, which, I mean, he'll still get to enjoy it at home as well. But while you guys are watching, we're going to be building an entire system, and at the same time, basically getting to see chat. You're going to see everything built from beginning to end, right here live on stage. It should be absolutely awesome. But for those of you who are in chat, who I can't see right now, but we will, come on, okay, here he comes. It'll just be like interacting with me just normally on Twitch. Okay, buddy. So, why don't you, well, actually, you're going to use two mics. Here we go. Two mics. One for chat, for Twitch, and then one for everybody else, so they can all hear you. Okay, so tell us about who you are and what you're doing here, and a little bit about this little bad boy.
Yeah, my name's Robert Bullen. I'm from Houston, Texas. Here with a group of friends that we've been planning this now for several years, basically with COVID and them canceling the last few years. We were finally able to make it happen this weekend. So we have 7 of us from Houston. We're all here just gaming, checking out the expo, checking out Intel.
So you do LANs you have done LANs in the past then?
Yeah, usually smaller. We've done Dreamhack before, over at a friend's house for a weekend, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool, yeah. Cool. And then, so tell me about this system, because I like looking at it, and I know you're going to zoom in here. Very, very clean, right? You did a good job with cable management. I mean, we got
dusted.
Yeah, it's a little dusty. That's okay, right? Like that's normal wear and tear. But you did great with a couple cable, and you got some ketchup and mustard cables. But all in all, you did a great job. And so this rig has done you well.
It has, yes. It served me well.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. What's inside of it?
Yeah, I have an AMD 2700X. And then the 5700 XT is the graphics card.
Okay.
I don't know how much detail you want, but that's what I'm working right now.
16 gigs of RAM?
32 right now.
32 gigs of RAM? Okay, you running an NVMe SSD or
yes.
Or just regular? Look, I see a couple SSDs down here.
Yeah, the OS is on NVMe,
okay.
And I have a couple SSDs for storage games.
Okay, so but done you well. Are you okay? Because we're going to make a switch then.
I'll be just fine.
Oh, you'll be just fine. Okay,
yeah.
So what we're going to be replacing this system with is we're going to be replacing it with an Intel 12900K. So that's a little bit of an upgrade.
A little bit. Yeah.
The other 7 friends. Now, where does this stack rank in terms of your friends' systems when we're done?
I think it'll be the best.
It'll be the best? Okay.
No question. Yeah.
That's the way I like to have it right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let you take your system, go play a couple more games, and then we'll hopefully see you here in a couple hours, and then we'll present you and have you turn on your new system. Unfortunately, you're only going to have like 20 minutes to play it here at the state, but you'll be able to enjoy it on your way home and all that stuff as well.
Sounds perfect.
Cool. Well, it's nice to meet you, Robert.
Thank you, Justin.
And we'll build you a great system.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you can take this. Yeah. If you want to trade the mic for this, no, I'm just kidding.
Not today.
Not today. He's like, no, I still want my system. See ya. Okay, well, let me grab chat. Okay, so I've got chat now, so I can actually see everybody. It's so good to see you guys. I know we've missed you there, and for those of you who are watching in the audience as well, again, let's run through the parts one more time. So just to remind everybody, we're going to bring the parts diagram up one more time. So we've got that Intel GPU and, of course, that PSU at the same time. And then, hi, Blondie, and so many other people hanging out as well. It's so good to see everybody. And then I will be joining Zeiston for some barbecue after this. So for those of you who are watching me right now live on Twitch, yes, I will gonna go hang out with Zeiston afterwards and do some building. Now I do apologize about last night. We did have a heavy metal band. We ended up building to some death metal at the end. Sorry you didn't get to see that. That Liam Lee 011 mini system came out fantastic, and he was super stoked. We will have that in video form later on, so I apologize for everybody who didn't get to change and watch that anyway. We would like to use the live performance for the break. Oh, okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Thanks very much, guys. Okay, well, let's start by getting our motherboard put together and go from there. So we're going to grab our motherboard, our CPU. We can put our case down for now. use that a little bit later. And we need our RAM, our SSD, and the rest of this we can kind of stick off to the side. I have so much room, guys. I can be, I got room to move because it's just me today, which is pretty cool. Okay. Definitely gonna have to do some water here in a minute. Do those hydrates. Okay, so starting with our motherboard and getting everything ready here. Let's grab this out. There it is right there. We're gonna set this because we're gonna be putting all of his parts, his extra parts inside of that. Grab our screw drive and go from there. You remember when Robey did a Fortnite dance on stream? No Fortnite dances today. Thank you, Eternal. Not happening today. I got a drink. Don't worry. Hey guys, no rest for the wicked. I got one right here. I got water right here. I'm good. Thanks for caring, guys. I'm gonna be okay. And we got people out in the audience as well. How's it going? Good. Okay. Everybody's enjoying this. He said, like everybody looks chill. That's good. Enjoying Dreamhack last day. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and get our CPU installed first. Let's get that popped open. Oh, thanks. Grab one of those. Okay. So we'll have the pretty display box out. This is the Intel Core i9. It's inside of that cool little wafer. One of the things I really enjoy about Intel's products is that they've always done a really good job with their top-end SKU, having a really neat way to kind of display it. So this is actually what CPUs look like when they come out, and they're basically on little wafers like this. Well, they're actually really big, and then each one of these is actually a die for a CPU, which is actually pretty neat. I'm seeing what's going on. A waffle case. It's not a waffle, thank you, but it's actually a wafer. But people think it's a waffle, and I don't know if there's maybe a potential cross-branding opportunity with Aio. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, so we're popping that in. Let's see. The thing is, sometimes these things jump really high. I'm trying to see what you guys. Okay, watch this. Let's see if it's able to clear the VRM. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good jump right there. That's one of those like nice little tricks. I mean, if we were doing predictions right now on stream, you would have been able to. We would have had some mad channel points won on that one because people always think that's not going to happen. Okay, next up, we're going to grab our RAM. Get this basically installed. Bubble waffles. I would love to actually see. I don't know if they don't. I don't think they have a bubble waffle. A bubble waffle vendor. Has anybody in the audience, you ever had bubble waffles? Does anybody know what a bubble waffle? No? You should look them up. You've had bubble waffles? They're good, aren't they? They are with ice cream? Yeah. If you've not had a bubble waffle, you haven't lived. Go get a bubble waffle right now. Just right now, go find one. And come back here and tell me how good it was. They're like, okay, I'm going. They're leaving. So, yeah, bubble waffles are really good. Yes, you guys have watched me eat bubble waffles on stream. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll let me eat bubble waffles on stream here. This is somebody else's PC, unfortunately. So there's a right side, yes. Over there? Oh. Is that good? You're welcome. Okay, let's throw that in there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get our NVR stuff in. Here we go right here. This is our first set of RAM. We love the sound of this. I know you guys can't hear it out in the audience, but here's the deal. If you really want to have a great PC build, quality RAM clicks are the key. So, and I'm going to try and see if we can get it caught here. Did you hear that? Yeah, see, it's got to sound like one click. That just means it's going to be a great build. So we got one there. Let's get our second one in. There it is right there. Oh, that was a double. Everybody needs a smoke break, right? Like, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we had good RAM clicks. I mean, all in all, if this was a regular stream, guys, we would have been having some great channel points won there. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna get our peels off. Just enjoying a little bit of peels right there. Oh yeah. Okay, just getting all those peels, just like skin from a sunburn. Wait, no, that's not a good analogy. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got more though. There we go right there, and then we got one more right here. Okay, oh no, there's even another one. Oh, this one's a little tricky. Getting all those peels off. Okay, that one did not come off. That's always fun. We had a tab fail. Okay, here we go. We're gonna see if we can get this off. This is always the bad thing. It's like I actually groom my nails, and it's never very useful. But okay, we're okay. I'm gonna leave that one alone. It's fine. Okay, and then we have one little piece of rubber right here. We're gonna get out. Okay, so the board is now prepared. Now let's go ahead and install our M.2. Oh my gosh, that is not a good analogy. Nobody is saying that the peels are like taking a Band-Aid off of a healing wound. I agree that I thought mine was bad. That one's worse. Okay, so what we're doing is we're removing our M.2 slot. Now we do have a couple peels on this. This is just to make sure that our M.2 gets plenty of cooling. So there's that one right there. Come on, baby. Let's do it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, there it is. That's better. Okay, there's that one peeled. And then we have one more right here to peel as well. There we go. Okay, full peels are done. Let's grab our M.2, which is over here. So this is a 1 terabyte Samsung 980 Pro. We got up to 7,000 megabits per second, which is plenty fast for loading any games. Rumor is all he does is play League of Legends. I'm just kidding. So yeah, this is a way overkill system for obviously something like League of Legends. I'm actually not sure what he plays. That would have been a good question. Learn to interview Robey. That would be better. So just taking this stuff out. We like to make sure that as I'm opening the packaging and all that sort of stuff, that I'm going to give him all of the booklets and pamphlets, so that way if he has any issues with the system later on, he's good to go. Okay, so here we go, M.2 installation. When you install one of these, the cool thing is that these actually work like diving boards if you've ever gone swimming. If you haven't gone swimming, you don't get that reference at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in here like this. There we go. And then once you know it's in, see how it just moves up and down like that? That's like how you know it's basically ready to go. And then Asus has this really good system, so you don't even need the small M.2. You can just rotate that, and now it's held in. And now we're going to take our shield, make sure it's the right way, and just put this right back on. And now our hard drive is installed. So there we go. NVMe SSD is in. And we are getting very close to done with our installation there. Okay, cool. So we're good there. Now what we're going to do is we've got our NVMe, we've got our RAM, we've got our CPU installed. What we need to do now is install our bracket so we can have our AIO on. So we're going to grab that. And all we need out of this box right now is just the bracket equipment. Put that away, throw that in the back. Okay, so here's all of our bracket stuff. Here it is right here, LGA 1700. Very nice of Corsair to include that. Put this back away. Set it off to the side so the box looks pretty for the pictures. I play Star Citizen. This may be underpowered. You know what? It may, I don't know. Yeah, and I guess graphics-wise, it depends on the resolution you're playing at. But yeah. LGA 1700. There it is right there. Okay, so here is our brackets. The rest of this is for stuff that we don't need. We will keep it though. And then we're going to do a little bit of a peel right here. There it is right there, just pulling it out. And there we go. Okay, so that's that. We're just going to move all these out. What we do is we flip over the motherboard, like so. Then what we're going to do is take this and just pop it on And then you got to adjust these little screws until everything gets in. And we want to be on the outermost hole here. Just like that. It does help if you have nails. So there we go, and then one more, if I can reach it. We're gonna do it. Oh, okay, we're almost in, guys. It's like golf. Okay, good. So now that's all secure. We're gonna flip it back over. We're good to go there, and now we're gonna take these little brackets, these little pegs, and we're gonna put them into each corner. There's one. You can count to 4. Two pegs. Just like that. 1060. Yeah, Yuri, this should be more than fine for 1080. I'm doing good, Fenrir. How's it going? Vicar of Mayhem, so hi, good to see you. Blondie, it's always good to see you. Everybody chatting over in Twitch right now. YouTube, joining us across the world. Worldwide PC building in the house. Plus, we're here live at Dreamhack. We have one guy who doesn't know where he's going. He's just walking around, just clueless, no idea. He's just like, I'm here. He got it all of a sudden. He's like, wait a minute. Still doesn't know. Yep, we're building a PC right here. That's what's happening. He's happy. He's got his Zowie hat. He's got his Red Bull, his Cloud9, his Puma. He's got everything. And now he's got hand sanitizer, so he's safe. So many things going on. We got some people just chilling here. Just enjoying some PC building. I don't want to say your name. You weren't very nice to me. Watch out. Okay, so what we have right here. So we've got a completed motherboard at this point in time. So everything is installed. At this point in time, we're ready to strip the case. Now, guys, here's the deal. This is the rated PG-13 part. If you're okay with seeing a naked case, we're gonna get a little intimate with the case, okay? So if you're a little, you may need to avert your eyes. We've got a couple guys walking away. I get it. It's a little scary, but that's what we're gonna be doing right now. So let's get our fully clothed case first. Oh. There it is right there. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we're basically gonna prep the case for installation. So we're just gonna get this a little bit. I got room, I got so much room, but yet I always seem to never have enough. That's the way it always works. Put this over to the side here. Okay, now I got room. So we're gonna take the glass off. There we go. And just for fun, because we don't need the inside one, this is always a good time. Everybody, you guys ready? You're gonna have a moment? You ready for some joy? You ready? Yeah, just keep walking. I'm just kidding. Okay, he stopped. Here we go. It's much better if you do it with a creepy face. There we go. That's a good peel right there. That's a good peel. Oh, and you got a new hat. There, look at that. Oh, no, that's not a good idea. Okay, let's put it right here. Breaking the tempered glass, not a good idea. Okay, cool, there we go. So we got that opened up now. What we're gonna do is we're basically gonna take all the panels off of the PC case. We got some tape in here, just to get it all ready to go. Okay, there we go right there. All open. I put this off of the back here. We'll put it right here, just for now. Okay, so that's done. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the rear panel off. Okay, there we go right there. And lastly, in the back, and one of the cool things about Corsair is they actually make it so you can always have good cable management because it's completely covered. Though I care, but we're going to go ahead and pop this open. We're going to remove that. And then here's where we have all the goodies. So we've got extra paneling if we want to change the configuration of the case, which we're not going to do. So we've got our, here's all our screws and stuff. So we're going to remove this. There we go. There's all of our screws so we can put in our motherboard and stuff, which is always fun. And he may have some hard drives, so we'll leave the hard drive tray in. But we are going to move it over. So if you've ever seen me do that before, what you do is you have 2 screws. Okay, well, those are tight. So this is where we're going to go to our trusty Ifixit kit. Grab this and this right here. So these are always some of these fun things to have when you're doing an installation. This allows me to kind of get into a weird spot. So I'm gonna do that. All I got to do is get this loose. It's gonna happen. Wow, this is very tight. Okay, but we got it. Success. Okay, we got one out. Let's see if the back one's really tight too. I don't know, how did they use what did they use to tighten this down? It's like superhuman strength. We're gonna get way back in there now. There we go, okay. I defeated it. It's like a level 10 monster. But I win, you lose. Okay, so we've got that loosened up now. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of remove it, and we're gonna move it further down the way. There we go. And so we got more room to put cables. Oh, something cool's happening over there. Okay, so that is prepped. Last thing is we have up here in the front, we got another little addition right there, and we've got this as well. Okay. So the case is now ready. So somebody's asking, where do you get one of these toolkits? These are the Ifixit toolkits. You can basically order them right off of Amazon. We have links down in our description below if you're really curious. They're actually really awesome. These are like the standard go-to if you're gonna basically do any building, and then they just make it really easy. And they have like everything inside of it. But we have links down below if you want to check them out. They're really cool. Okay, so now we have all this ready. Now we're actually gonna start putting the PC together, which is always the fun part. So we're down at there. All of our standoffs are already good to go. We're gonna take our motherboard and go and just pop it right in. Oh, he's getting cozy, sitting down. Oh, I see how it is. I get to stand up the whole time, and here you get to sit down. That's true, that's true. We're going to, before I do that, make sure we undo the cables. They're liking to stick up here. Okay, so we got some extra cables. We got there we go right there. Okay, that's better. Yeah, this is live from IEM Dallas, guys. So I am live. This is not the Robeytech studio. This is not the typical mod workshop studio. This is me doing it in front of a live studio audience. There's 2 of them, and I'm very grateful. Oh, no, 4, okay. There it is. Oh, they're raising their hands. I'm really, thank you. Thank you. We got some PC build fans in the house. Okay, motherboard is now in, so we're good there. That looks nice. It's gonna look very clean inside of here, which is always good. Okay, so what we have inside of our little box here is a lot of extra stuff. Just gonna get rid of that. Throw in our motherboard box for him to use at a later point. Okay, get out the Ifixit kit. Okay, that can go into the garbage. And now we're gonna grab our screws. Yes, we have hype for the personal viewers. That's right, we got a couple people watching well, actually, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Never mind, that guy's just walking by. He's making me sad, though. I almost thought we had 5. Oh, we do? Oh, no, I have 5. Yeah, okay. We had a massive increase in viewership. Oh, no, 6. Oh, never mind, he's just never mind, that's a camera guy. It's getting crazy up here when we're doing our PC building. This is the right ones. I do not know why you guys are so close. That's just what we're zooming in on, I guess. Okay, so what I'm getting out of here right now is just all the screws. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got our screws now. I'm gonna grab our little stubby screwdriver. This is the opposite of Excalibur. So if you've ever watched our Mod Workshop shows, we have like a really, really long screwdriver, but this time they gave me the opposite. So we're using a little stubster. What's up, guys? How's it going? It's good to see you. Welcome, everybody. You guys have doubled our audience. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go right now. So we're just going to start putting the motherboard in together. Yeah, it's non-caliber. It's like, what would be, it's the XX caliber? I don't know what I would actually end up calling that. So we're just, the anti-caliber, there we go. It's like King Arthur did not want this one. It's like the poor guy's like fighting with a dagger. Oh, you're almost alive. Igor is almost alive, viewer. He's just an hour away. Thanks for coming out, Igor, appreciate that. Oh, you watch him at 2K speed. I do remember that comment, T-Max. Okay, I think we can put one right here. You don't always know. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're just securing the motherboard to the case. There we go. So what we're working on right here. Tell you what we're working with. There's that. Okay, so we have 3 more screws to get in, and then what we'll start doing is hooking up our front panel connectors. You guys are watching the full build happen. It's gonna magically transform in front of your eyes. You're gonna be amazed. You're already amazed, I can tell. Okay, here we go right here. You guys are like really close. You're just like, you're looking at the screen, you think? Yeah, it makes it easier, right? Okay, there we go right there. Okay, so we only have a couple more screws to put in, guys. So what we've been doing, just to remind people, we have been choosing people within the BYOC. This PC is actually for Robert. He has an AMD Ryzen 2600X that we're upgrading his system to from. He was okay with making the switch, which is always nice. So he's upgrading to a 12900K. He built the system himself. It actually looks really, really good. So I'm taking extra care to make sure that we're doing a good job with cable management and everything else, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're making sure we take plenty of good care as we build the system. Okay, next up, guys, we're going to start running all the front panels. So here's how things look right now. Looks pretty good, right? Too bad it doesn't work when we're done like this, but hey, all in all, it looks pretty good. Here for you guys. You want a close look? There it is right there. This is heavy. Why are you making me do this? It's not very nice. He's like, put it back. Okay, so what we're gonna start doing now, yes, all of these cables in the back are actually useful. This is what the back of the PC looks like. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as nice as the front, but we'll get that squared away here pretty quick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to undo some of this nice cable management that Corsair has provided us. And we're going to start running these big, long cables here. What do these actually do? It'd be useful if I knew. I wonder if I can just cut them off. No, I should probably hook them up. Okay, first and foremost, we got our HD audio cable. That's going right there. Then we've got USB 3. We'll actually run that one right there. That feels pretty good. Now we got this little bit of it. There we go. There's our USB 3 cable right there. Let's see what else we got. These are all for lighting and RGB later. Okay, we got a fan hub, which we are going to actually use. So we're going to run that little bad boy right there. We've got, oh, here's the fun one. USB-C. Where's our USB-C header? Oh, it's right there, right with our USB 3.2. So let's go ahead and run that one right up here. There we go, there's USB 3.2. Come on out, get out of there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then finally we have all these front panel connectors. I mean, who loves hooking these up? Everybody remember these? Who's built a PC before? Raise your hand if you built a PC. Tomber, raise your hand. You built a PC, thank you, okay. So, yeah, okay, you guys have built a PC. These are always the fun connections, right? The little, yeah. Do you guys know, like off the top of your head, how to hook these up? If you had to remember? Okay, so we'll do these from memory, but these are the front panel connectors. We'll throw these in right here. There we go. So there's those. And then lastly, the rest of this stuff is all stuff we're gonna hook up later. So we're good to go. Okay, so there's all of our connectors. Let's go ahead and start hooking this stuff up. We're gonna do this from the front view, a little bit easier for you, not for me. They just wanna make this challenging for me. Okay, so first one, USB 3.2. We gotta go right at a right angle. This is always like the worst connection. It's gonna go right there. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our USB-C. It's gonna go right there. And if it doesn't fit, then we flip it over because it's that way. There it is. And then what I like to do with these is I like to kind of run them underneath so it almost looks like a single cable. A little bit like that. There we go. Okay, so down here we've got our, this is our header for our fan hub in the back, so we're gonna hook that up right there. Then here's all the front panel connectors, guys. This is what always makes people feel like I'm a magician, even though I'm not. Because I'll remember how all of these go from memory. I don't know if everybody can do that anymore, but here we go. So we're gonna pull this up from a weird angle. Okay, so first one we're gonna do is we're gonna take our reset switch, which is right here, and that is gonna go right there, just like that. And then we're gonna take our power switch, which is gonna basically makes this button work. And that one goes right above our reset switch. This is really hard from this angle, guys. Okay, let me make sure I'm doing that. Okay, there we go. That, I actually have light now. That's gonna go there. That was they're cheering for me because of what I just was able to do. It's so amazing, yeah! I'm just kidding, somebody scored at Rocket League, but I pretend. Thank you though, thank you for cheering for me out in the audience, so you guys are keeping it real. Okay, then we're gonna take our power plus and minus, put those next to each other just like that, and that goes right next to it. There we go, right there. And then we're just gonna pull all that stuff down, like so. I have some real fans here, and they are cheering me on. Okay, so there we go, we got that all done. Okay, lastly, over here in this corner, we have our HD audio. There it is. Okay, so all of our front panels connectors are done. We actually are now at the point where our PC is coming together. Hi, Zen. Just good to see you. I'm just gonna watch him walk by. So there we go, PC's all set up, we're good to go. Now we can actually start getting our AIO together, but we're gonna do a little bit of cable management. Who out here, I mean, I'm just curious, when you built your PC, actually took the time to cable manage the back, make it look really nice? No? Who's just to cram in the back and get to use it? No, good, I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you. So, okay, let's go ahead and bring this down. And And we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up just to make things look really good. So we're going to move that off to the side. These are all of our RGB fans and all that sort of stuff. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of create a spine here in the short term for all of our cables. So luckily I have my good friends here, AKA zip ties. And then we're going to go from here. So fun fact, for those people who are watching for the first time, who are out in the audience, if you were going to guess how many average zip ties a Robeytech build has in it, if you were going to guess a number, how many do you think it has in it? How many zip ties do you think I use? 10, 1, or 10? 10, okay, 10. Do we have anything higher? 12, 14? No, 60. 60 is the average number of zip ties I use in my build when I do my cable management. So I love cable management. It's very therapeutic. But yeah, people, it's funny because all of my Twitch people are like 50 plus, you guys are like 10. So you're learning. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start getting all of our cables kind of controlled. Now don't worry, I'm not going to be doing 60 on this one, though I did do 60 yesterday, because we still want to get you guys out of here before the show closes. So we actually have a time limit. Oop, we got a little bit of a weirdness here, so I'm going to disconnect this from here and run this way and reconnect this cable. Now one trick when you're doing cable management, guys, is making sure that cables lay the right direction. So you'll see there that I just disconnected a cable, and that's just to make sure that things lay a whole lot flatter. Now, for me, it's just like, given this build is mostly pretty much like, it seems very clear, when I always look at cable management, I'm always just looking for how cables kind of naturally fall, which makes it a whole lot easier. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start the process of making this build also look great from the front and the back. So, and then not also cable manage the rubber grommet. There we go. Okay, so we're going to pull that in, pull it down like that. Okay, and now we're going to start working our way through here to kind of get things cleaned up. And the one thing, it's funny, because the one thing I will say about cable management is if you group things correctly, one of the reasons I'm doing this now is that now all of my front panel connectors are going to be grouped, so I know if I have any issue later on with the front panel, I'll be able to work on those particular ones. The one thing that's really hard, and I don't know if people know this, but if you end up finishing your build and then you have an issue and you don't have everything kind of clumped together, you're then spending a lot of time actually looking for what may be the problem. Now, usually when I do a build, if I was gonna recommend for a new builder, my thing is always to hook everything up, make sure it works beforehand. We actually did that before we actually did this build. So all of this stuff has been bench tested. It's actually already got an OS on it. You can see there's a little bit of work done already. And I always recommend doing that before, because that way, when it's outside of the case, you can actually find issues before you put it inside, and then you end up having to take your whole build apart. So just a little bit of knowledge right there. I use the whole 50 pack of LTT cable ties. Oh, really? That is one thing that I am missing is on the marketing side is definitely not having my my own cable ties, guys. Because now I have Igor over here buying Linus Tech Tips instead of Robeytech cable ties. Okay, we're gonna pull this up. And then what we're doing right now is we're just gonna get these other cables kind of up and clumped together, because I want them all as a single group. I know you would, Igor, I appreciate that. I do. I hope everybody on stream is also enjoying the content. Thank you for tuning in. If you're over at the Intel channel or any of my Robeytech channels as well, you guys are rock stars as well. The audience continues to grow. Now we got Zen watching, so that's good. So we were having a Zen moment. Oh, he's like, okay, I'm done with you, Robey. So there it is right there. Okay, so we've got some cables, nice. Now what I'm doing right here is just making sure these are extra tight and up, and then I'll tighten those a little bit better later. We've got this really kind of gnarly HD audio cable, but I'll get to that here in a minute. What I'm doing right now is just making sure this a little bit, and I have a tendency to cable manage as I go, just because I'm a little bit more confident in the fact that my build is gonna work. Don't feel like you have to copy that from me. Like, again, it's just about clumping things together so you can easily find them for troubleshooting later. Okay, there we go, right there. Some good quality cable management there. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna run this one just right up here. And then what I do, one of the things that's really nice about cable zip ties is that they can do the hold. So what you see is I'm spending a lot of time kind of stretching cables out. I don't know if you guys can see those very well, but when you stretch them out, and then you can use two zip ties at both ends, and then it'll actually hold the cables really well. And then it gives you kind of that nice, clean, square look. Right now I'm just making sure it's nicely placed. Okay, there we go. We'll do the first one here. And the other thing too is, one other thing too is never feel afraid. Just because you did a zip tie doesn't mean it's permanent. These things are cheap. So you can always undo and then redo and add to groups of cables later. So it's like, that's another reason why I probably go through as many zip ties as I do, is that I'm just going things as I go. And then once I'm done, you know, I'll re-add as it makes sense. Can you crimp too much? There are certain cables that you could. I don't crimp too hard, but there's, you know, it's always something to be aware of. You don't want to feel like you're going too crazy, and that's usually why I don't do things all the way at the very end. Yes, that's good feedback. Thank you for the crowd cheer. Yeah, they seem to agree with me on that one. But again, so that's why I have a tendency to actually have little groups here at the end. So that way I know I'm not crimping too hard, and then it's not too hard on the cable. Okay, so there we go. We've got first round of cable management done, which is always good. You're saying, let's go, Robey. Yeah, thank you. No. It's always fun. I love Dreamhack. I'm actually a huge esport fan as well. I used to help collegiate esports get started, and then that's why you see me guys wear a lot of Overwatch jerseys and stuff like that. So it's always cool to watch. They're doing, I think it's the collegiate Rocket League's championship going on right now. So that's the other thing you're kind of hearing, because Dreamhack has BYOC, it has esports, it had a really loud metal concert last night. So there's a bunch of different content and things for people to do. And so we're getting like the whole like on the show floor vibe right now as well. Okay, there we go. So there you go, nice and clean. And then what you do, the other thing that I always like to do with my cables is once I'm done is you kind of stick these under, like so. And then it almost looks like they're not cable ties, they look like regular ties right there. But as you can see, just a nice clean look. We've got only just one cable here, and then we've got our RGB cables we're going to be dealing with here in a bit. Okay, so that is so now our build looks almost as good in the back as it does in the front. Like, so, you know, much nicer, right? Nice and clean. We're going to clean one more thing up that I just realized, because I do not like to leave twisty ties. Those are gnarly. I agree, they are gnarly. The crowd was agreeing over there. Okay, so we're going to grab a couple more ties and then just tighten this one little bit up here. We're actually going to use the standoff here, or tie down. We can get it up there. We'll go this way. There you go. Okay, cool. So we're using the tie down here just to get this marked. There we go. And then now, finish this little bit. And now our rear fan is also all squared away. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Igor, for saying let's go, Robey. I like getting that from within chat too. Just so you know, Zeiston, I'm also very hungry. We've only had like a pizza today, because we know we're eating some good BBQ later. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is now done. Another zip tie group dead. And we got a clean look. Okay, so let's flip this over. And there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now, so we have all of our cables kind of done and managed. We're going to pull this a little bit. This thing is a little rubber grommet. Got a little rubber grommet trying to sneak out of us. Okay, there we go. So we got all our cables kind of nice and clean. Everything's kind of controlled now. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to top mount our AIO. So we're going to put our AIO together. And then once that's done, we will be about 3/4 of the way done with the build already. So things have actually, sailing together. We just have that in RGB cable management, which always takes a little bit more time. So we'll put this down. We're going to grab our H150i here. Okay, so this is the cooler. And honestly, this is probably one of the nicest coolers that's available right now. We've done a lot of testing with a bunch of different coolers. And these are the new ML120 Elites from Corsair. They have a high static pressure rating than Noctua NFF12s, and they're RGB. Not as many RGB as like their light loops or whatever it was, but they are still very, very nice looking RGB fans. And do really good with managing temps on the 12900K. So what we're going to do is just get everything out of our box. The one thing that's kind of hidden is make sure you get the large amount of screws, which we'll need for mounting. We got our RGB hub, and there's our USB splitter. There we are right there. And there is that. Now, one thing that's really cool about this, and I'll show you guys this here in a minute, is this cooler actually has a screen on it. So you can do things like customize it with GIF or GIF if you're weird. And then also like in terms of show liquid temps, CPU temps, GPU temps, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's really, really cool in that regard in terms of using that. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it like, and I like to do this in like 3 dimensions. So I know I'm going to place it like this, and my fans are going to sit like that with the cables going out. So that means I'm going to install them like this. Okay, so we're good there. And this stuff I'm good with. So I'm going to kind of place my extras out of the way. Okay, and then we're going to grab our big bag of screws. The one thing I always like to do is try and keep my workspace as clean as possible. The big thing that helps with, honestly, is it keeps you from losing things, which is always a pain when you're building. So we're going to get those in there. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we're going to grab our really, really tall screws. They look like this. These are our mount screws for our fans. Now the one thing is a lot of people say, hey, do I need to use the washers? Well, one thing that's really nice about the ML120 Elites is they actually have the proper size holes, so the screws go in there, so you don't need to use the washers with these particular fans. I know, I was disappointed too, but you don't need the washers. The other thing that is also, they got a goal. So, oh wow, I think it won, there it is. Lots of steam. Zen, can we get that when we're done building lots of some steam? Okay, he's working on it. I need the same level of pomp and circumstance. What I was going to say though is that the one thing that's really nice about the Elite Capellix series of AIOs is it actually gives you enough screws to do what's called a push-pull on your AIO. So you can have fans on both the top and the bottom, which can help with cooling a little bit. And then the cool thing about this particular case is that it's easy to do that inside of the 5000D. And I've done that a number of times on my stream. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and continue to get all of our fan screws set in. This is always the least entertaining part because you're just watching me put in a bunch of fans. But I appreciate you guys sticking it. Thank you, I appreciate that. Some people, it's fun to watch something happen end to end though. There we go. Okay, so we got all that in. And then we're going to grab our, where's Stubby? Oh, there he is. See, I couldn't even find him. Okay, we're going to grab our little stubby screwdriver. Get our AIO put in here. Yes, sell the star. You do not need to on these fans because the washers are almost built into the fan mounts. Now, when we mount the radiator onto the case, we will absolutely use the washers, but when we're mounting the fans, you do not need to. You're very welcome. Okay, there we go. So we got all those first ones in. Grab a little bit of water. There we go. Okay, we're just screwing all of the fans in. These fans, not you fans. We're just yeah, you get what I'm saying. Okay, there we go. 2 more screws, guys. We're almost there. Got to make sure these things are secure. There we go. Okay, now that we've got all the screws in, what we're going to do is we're going to take some time and just make this a little easier for me to connect up. So we're going to move all these little screws off to the side. And then we're going to take this and just cut these little bits off. There we go. That one's kind of already undone here, so I'm going to have to kind of, okay. There we go. There he is, and that one, and one more there. Okay, so we've got all those undone. Okay, now what we're going to do, just to make this a little easier to get inside the case, is we're going to kind of connect all this stuff and zip tie it together here in the middle. It's a little trick for doing your AIO, and it makes it a little bit easier to just do the installation, because you don't have to sit there and guide all the cables individually. Now, some people, like inside of IQ, you might want to know, like, hey, which fan is which and all that sort of stuff. You can always take the time to label, use a Sharpie or whatever, and to label the number on here. But it's really, it's not really important which order you kind of plug them in when you plug them into the RGB hub. Okay, so here's where we're going right here. Just going like that. So there we go, just kind of getting them tight, push it up. There we go, there's that one. One more a little bit lower. And always take your time as you're doing this to kind of unwind the cables. So a little bit like this. So that way it makes it a whole lot easier to kind of work with the cables as you go. Is this the real Intel? Yes, this is the real Intel, not as opposed to the fake Intel. They're at a different channel. Okay, there we go right there. And then what I've done down at the bottom is I'll just kind of clump them together. And then once I got them kind of clumped together, I don't do this one too tight, but this is, again, just so I can guide them in really easily. Okay, so there we go. Cut that, and now I'm ready to mount my AIO into my case. Okay, so that's good to go. So we're going to set this aside. So AIO is all put together. We're good to go here. Now what we're going to do, guys, Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start getting our cable extensions in. So here's our system as it sits right now. We're gonna grab our USB splitter. Go ahead and install that. It's a little dark on stage, so you gotta kind of guess. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna throw that in. That's for our AIO. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our cable extensions. Now because the cooler is gonna be up here, we just wanna go ahead and make sure that we get this stuff all hooked up top early. So that's what we're gonna work on real quick. Now the one thing that's important to know is like you are gonna get a lot of pressure on these cables, so you know they're gonna kind of go sideways. So we're gonna be basically preparing for that. It's gonna open, there it goes, okay. That was a hard box to open. Okay, so we're gonna grab our, there it is, so this is our EPS. This is basically what powers your CPU, gives power to your CPU. So we're gonna grab a couple of these. Now this is gonna sit in just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of these cable combs, and you're going to place them on these cables, just like this. And these are purely aesthetic. They're to make builds look pretty, you know, which is always important. They're usually very inexpensive, about 25, 30 bucks, but they really elevate the way your build looks. And it's a nice inexpensive way to kind of take your build from looking pre-built-ish to a little bit more like customizable. You can go all the way and do fully wrapped cables for your PSU, but this is just a lot less of an expensive option. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick that in right here, and we're going to run that up here. And then we know that it's going to put some pressure on it, so I'm going to spread this out. And that's just me having built enough of these to know that that's what's going to happen. Okay, so that's in, so we're good to go there, and then the rest of this stuff we'll deal with here in a minute. So now we're going to grab our AIO. Get it placed. Clear some room here. Get things kind of opened up and ready. Okay, and then we're going to grab a couple of screws. So these are going to use kind of the shorter, stubbier screws in this case. And the nice thing about the tooling on the H150 is that you can actually, without using a screwdriver, kind of get this started and screwed in. So now we're going to kind of scoot this back a little bit. This is where you have like Cirque du Soleil contortion type abilities, because you're going to do things like hold it one way while also putting in screws. But yes, it is, if you've got the skills and abilities, you can do this. There we go. So you're going to go like this, and again, while holding it, and like I said, this is going to get pushed down, like so. Just going to hold it, and then you're going to use your finger, and you should be able to do these with just your fingers. Just like that. Okay, there's one. And if you paid attention to where you put that one, but you didn't, because it's dark up here, then you're going to put the other one right here. Oh, 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 come on, come on. Work with me. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I've got both of those in, and now my AIO is mounted enough that I can do whatever I need to do. And like, this is why I ran my EPS, because this is now trapped in here and it's not hitting the cable, but yet it still looks nice, which is what we want. We want it to look clean for Mr. Robert. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm just going to put 2 screws in. The main reason I only put 2 screws in at the beginning when I do an AIO is just in case I need to remove the AIO, it's a little bit easier, because if there's a cable I can't get to or whatever it was, versus having everything all the way hooked up. You just got to remember to put in the rest of the screws before you ship the PC. Okay, so we've got that done. Now what we're going to do is set this down, and we're going to route and mount our main part of the AIO now. So this just comes off, which is nice. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the pre-applied thermal paste in this one. And we're just going to wrap this around just like that. Just make sure it's on all of the latches. There we go. Then we're going to grab these. These are like your little nut things, and you're going to start them on each one of the corners. And just get them started, because you want to kind of go around as you put it on versus doing it all, like screwing it all the way down. It's a lot easier to mount, and the other thing too is it adds equal pressure. There we go, right there. Yes, this is definitely not a budget build. Yeah, and I'm doing more of a computer building 101 episode, that is true. I'm actually like narrating a PC build. So, because there may be people who are watching here, both live in the audience, or people who are first time watching on Intel's channel, or watching even on my channels, that have never seen this before. Okay, there we go. We're just tightening this down all the way. Going even sides on each one. There we go. And slowly we start to get the whole thing put back together. Okay, so our AIO is now mounted. It's not, now the main part isn't wired yet, but we'll work on that here in just a second. There we go, right there. You are very welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the thing. Now, for me, what I know I can get rid of, just on the screw side, is I can get rid of all these little tall screws, because I know I don't need those. Just clean up our workspace a little bit. Makes it a little easier, and we don't end up losing screws. Now, so that takes care of that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and set these up here. There's 4. There's 2 of those. There we go, 2 of those, and 1 of those. Okay, and the rest of this stuff can get put away. Okay, cool. There we go. Wow, I got none of those in the bag. Good job, Robey. Okay, there we go. Cool, so we can get that put away. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put in our main screen here. It is a Corsair 5000D, yeah, that's the case. And actually we can take a second, why don't we go and do that? We'll walk through the parts that are inside of this again. So real quick, we'll bring that up. So in this piece, and remember guys, we are here live, so we are here live at Dreamhack, so there's lots of live things happening as well, which is always really, really good. Okay, so now that's all ready, we've peeled it all off. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of undo this little zip tie. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure we grab our pump header. There we go. See if we can get a little bit of light here. We're going to hook this right up here. This is so our CPU is good to go. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're good there. Then what we're going to do is just get this installed. There we go. Okay, now we just got to run it up. Which is always going to be tricky. So we're going to run this right here. This is I'm trying to grab the little cable face. There we go. Okay, so that one's in. Now we're gonna do, so we're gonna grab this one and run this up. There we go, okay, that's through. Then lastly, we have our HDMI, our USB cable. There we go. There we go, pushing this stuff up so we can have it all set up. There we go, right there. Sounds like they're doing an Intel Nook giveaway, guys. If you were here at the show, you could enter to win a raffle, probably. Something cool like that. Okay, so we got that done, and then we're just gonna pull this one cable up, and that'll mean all of our stuff is up and up. There we go, okay, cool. So all that stuff is up and clean. Actually looks very nice. I don't even know if I'm gonna need to do anything to make that look nicer. Maybe on the other side, but I think we're gonna be okay. Okay, so there we go. There's our build as it sits right now. And then now you can actually see that our actual screen is in now. Everything's hooked up there. We're gonna go ahead and do our other cable extension, but let's go ahead and take the time now to go ahead and hook up all of the RGB fans for our Corsair H150i. Could you explain the Aio orientation briefly? Yeah, so the way that we've got our Aio orientation in this one is, so the way we've got our airflow orientation is that we have intake, and we have exhaust and exhaust for our fan orientation. The way that this works is obviously the cooling plate and the pump are right here, and then what happens is water basically moves from up here through this radiator where the fans, as they're exhausting air, are cooling it out, and then it comes back through, so it basically runs like a loop. And this is filled with a water glycol mix, which is what it uses to cool the CPU. Now there's a couple things I told you about with this particular AIO. As you can see up here at the top, they actually have enough room to put more fans, and the Corsair 5000D actually allows you to put fans up top, so you could actually have fans at the bottom and the top called push-pull, where you have fans blowing in air this way, and then you have fans pulling air this way, which creates more airflow, and obviously the more airflow, the better the overall temperatures are going to be on your CPU. So that's how we have our orientation in this case. It's a pretty standard one, it's where most people do. We actually have done it the other way, where this is also intake, and then you can actually set up this case with more fans. You can have actually up to, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 fans in this case, because you can do the side as well. So there's a lot of different orientations and flexibilities with this particular 5000D. Okay, so now what we're gonna grab our hub, and we're gonna basically install our hub. We're actually, down here might make the most sense, again. So we're gonna remove one of these. And we're gonna install our fan hub down here. So that way it's just a nice clean area. Then just make the build look nice too. You are very welcome. There it is right there. Can I get fans that light up the hub and the blades for about $100? It depends on the number of fans you're looking for. I don't know about all of them, but yes, you can definitely get fans that light up. Pretty inexpensive fans if you really wanted to. So what we're doing right now, guys, is just getting the build done here. So we're putting our fan hub, our RGB hub in. It's being kind of painful. Wow, come on. Wow, this is why you don't run and go. Okay, there it goes. Okay, cool. We got it done? Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna undo this that I did, so just to make sure we can get it lined up. And we're gonna start running all of our cables to the hub now. And what you wanna do is kind of separate your RGB from your fan cable. So that's RGB, RGB, there's our fans. Okay, right there. There we go. There we go. And I'm just unwinding them right now. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my fans, and I'm gonna run these here. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so there's our fans, and then on the other side, we're gonna run our other ones. There's that. And so this is all of the RGB and fans for both the front and the top AIO. The AIO in the front, in the top, and then just the 3 fans in the back. Okay, so what we can do here, and then one of the things that's actually really nice about this case is you have this nice shield right here. Lift that up. Actually hide our cables underneath it. Just like that. There we go. And so now we have a bunch of hidden cables there. And then what we'll do here is we'll just finish clumping up these little groups. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so there's that group. That's just our fans for the first group. So we're gonna grab our very long zip ties for this in this one, but it will work. It will work. There we go, and then just do that. Okay, so we've just doing our cable management and hooking up. So there's our first little group for this one. So again, all of our fans there, and then what we have over here is just the RGB. We're gonna do the exact same thing we did with the other side. Run this down. We're gonna have to add one little extra cable right here, just to keep these things straight. There we go. And then now we can run this over. Cable manage right here. And this is just making the back of the build look as good as the front. And luckily, guys, this is the longest part of the cable management. After this, we're pretty much at we're on the downhill trend for this build. But because I've done this build so many times, this one I just kind of know what to do for the cable management. What we're going to do here is we're just going to run this one under, like so. There we go, there's our little group. And then we're going to do the same thing. Get a zip tie in there, just to keep this under control. 50 to 60. Yeah. So my average zip tie count when I do builds, which we had talked about a little bit earlier, was 50 to 60 zip ties per build, which is pretty average. Again, it's just about making builds look very, very good, which is what people think. Making builds look good. That's what Robey does. Okay, oops, except for when he misses one of the things, but it's okay, we can put that down below. That still looks good right there. Okay, cool. So that takes care of all of our little clumping there, getting it off to the side, and then because these zip ties are so long, it looks really weird. They're like spider tentacles kind of hanging out everywhere, but there we go. So we're gonna get that cleaned up. There we go. There we go, oops. Not close enough, there. Okay, now it's close enough. There, and there. Okay, so that's, the top is done from all of those fans, and you can see that they're very, very well hidden. I'm gonna clump that here in a sec, but what I'm gonna do here, which is a little bit different, is because we have that top pump fan, is go ahead. 50 to 60 includes broken zip ties, yes, but I actually probably only waste maybe 3 or 4 zip ties per build. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna get that cleared up and in and clean. Yeah. So it's only happened once. And somebody's asking, hey, well, what if you accidentally snip a wire? And that has actually only happened once. I'm just really careful, and that's why I use these types of zip tie, this tool right here, which I'm glad they found actually at Micro Center, but they make it very, very easy to make sure that you're doing a very precise job when snipping, because yes, it does suck if you end up snipping one of the wires. But luckily, I just haven't had to have that happen. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, guys, this is for hooking up the rest of our AIO. And we're gonna make a pretty cool little display here with this. They're called flush cutters, is that true? I did not know that. Even I learned something today, guys. They're called flush cutters, if that's true. But yeah. People are just making up names. Now I'm looking at chat, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe, guys. I call them snips too, I just call them snips. I call them zip tie cutters. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just making that last long cable that's gonna kind of cover all of this so it looks like it's just a single big cable from the top. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we will hook up the USB and all that stuff down here at the bottom. There we go. There we go. Okay, one more little cutter here, one more little zip tie here at the top just to get this group all done. And then we'll have everything in control here. There we go. So see, now I've hidden all of those wires beneath the other wire. So it looks nice and clean. We're doing good in terms of time too, guys. And then I'm just gonna, there actually is nothing here. I'm just literally adding this zip tie to make the zip ties look even. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool, so that's that. Now the next group we're gonna work on here is we're gonna work on the bottom one. So you have these bottom fans. These are for the front, but they're just coming down here at the bottom. That's how I routed them. That's RGB. That's a fan. Let's see what else we got here. RGB fan, okay, there we go. Okay, so here's our fans. These are gonna go over here. We're gonna run this underneath this clump. Fan here. Fan here. And then we're getting basically hooking up our last kind of bits here. You feel for those bottom fans, why? What do you feel for them? Okay, there we go right there. Okay, so all of our fans are now hooked up. 6 fans for this anyway. What am I working on here? I'm just making sure that our, there we go, untied. Okay, now what we're gonna do, same thing. Zip tie this one right here. No, this PC, somebody was asking what's happening with this PC when we're done. We actually chose somebody in the BYOC area here at Dreamhack. His name's Robert. He has a 2600X AMD processor that his system that he built, 4 or 5 years ago, I think is what he said. But we are giving him the system. So these, what we've been doing here at Dreamhack is we've been choosing winners are people within the BYOC and upgrading a number of their systems over the course of the weekend. So, and this is going to him. Yes, the 1060 is, but the 3070 and 3080 are the fastest growing GPUs on that same Steam hardware list, because they're now being bought at good prices. We went around and walked around the area and found, I just chatted with people and then I got to choose. There was no real rhyme or reason to how we picked people. I just found cool people and said, hey, you want us to build you a new system? So there we go, there's that one. All done and ready to go. Okay, so those are all, we're on our last group of needing to be cable managed cables, which makes me happy. And that's our RGB ones, our 3 RGB ones right here. It's like the most time consuming part of the build. There we go. Okay, what I'm working on right now is just getting these last 3 hooked up. Yeah, it's really funny. It was really funny when we chose these. They were like, wait, are you real? Is this for real? There was some disbelief that this was actually a thing, for sure, because there's a lot of scams. But yeah, no, they're even one of the guys was even when he was playing with it last night, we came and found a bunch of them in the BYOC area. And even when he was playing with it last night, he was like, I still can't believe it's true. So it's been really cool. Such a great experience to be a part of with the folks at Intel who've let us choose these people and build them really awesome PCs. Has been a really, really cool treat for me. Nothing got to do it too, so he was here with me for the first 2 days. I wish we could have shown the whole stream yesterday, but unfortunately we had a death metal band, which made it really hard for us to stream. But yeah, no, that video will be out on Intel's channel later on. So yeah, it's been a really, really cool experience here at Dreamhack. Something I'm definitely going to remember. And these individuals are going to remember too, because their PCs were basically built and then they were surprised, Came to play games and ended up with a new PC. Okay. Have to do these ones separate. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's get this one zip tied. Thank you very much for being so kind. Yes. I enjoy this stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to make builds look pretty. Just making sure that there we go. Okay, so that takes care of all of these cables. There it is right there. Okay, there it is right there. And then now, let's just make sure, where's our, that's what I was looking for. It was hidden. Okay, so there's all of our cables, kind of managed it in. That was like the longest part, guys. That was the longest kind of bit. And we're just gonna hide this last little group up here. And that'll kind of get this last kind of group taken care of. Okay, there we go. One more zip tie. One more person. I don't know if, you know, it's funny, I don't think Shady Star, that's a thing though. I think there may be an announce then, I don't think that's when it'll release. There's too many 3000 series cards that are being produced at this point in time. Not sure that's actually going to be a thing. But okay. I guess we'll see soon though. Okay, so there we go. All of our, let's get these undone. Okay, so all of our long cable management is now finished. Now all we have left is just kind of the simple stuff. Okay, this will be right here, but we haven't put our cable extensions in yet, but we're just getting stuff, just making sure it all closes and we're good there. Okay, so we're good there. Cables look good. That's how it looks so far, which is nice. Now I'm just gonna take, we have a little bit of some little small cables to add down here at the bottom. And then I'll show you guys out in the audience what the build looks like from the back thus far. It's not gonna change a whole lot from this either. Okay, so we have our 2 USB that get plugged in. There's one. Here's our other one. These are the last 2 cables for our our AIO. And this one I'm just going to kind of hide in the shroud. Doesn't need to be anything any particular special, just hidden and out of the way. Just want the back to look nice, but these can be. These can be just kind of clean, which is always good. Just want it clean and nice. There's that one. Okay. Do here is put that up. Put that right there, and then slide that right there. It's out of the way. Okay, so this is how the back of the PC looks right now. You couldn't see that, but again, nice and clean, very easy. Looks nice and simple. So it's all, you know, again, just trying to make sure it looks good. You are in the audience, Kurosaki. You absolutely are. Okay. So now we have all of that done. We can put in our cable extensions, shoot off some fog. I'm just talking about over there. Oh, you know what we should do though? I almost forgot, but this is why I left these out here. Let's finish mounting our AIO, which is sitting up here. I only have like 2 screws in. That'd be bad. go. Whoops, come on. There, okay. There we go. Get our other fans in now, our other screws in. And you are in the audience. I'm so grateful for everybody tuning in from Twitch, from here live, even though they got pulled away because of a raffle. Dang giveaways, they take away all the audience. But yeah, no, it's just us and Twitch. I get you, Iron Master. Thanks for hanging out. There we go, right there. We're just getting our screws in. Oh wait, this is like not. Okay, let's loosen this a little bit. It's like we're a little tight, a little bit further down, and we didn't quite get all the. There we go. Push this down. There we go. Okay. Just vibing. That's okay. You can just vibe. I'm okay with that. We got all sorts of people just vibing right now. Okay, there it is, right there. Tightening these down. Now we got everything placed. We got 4 more screws to put in the top AIO here. Okay, I lied. 5. Don't shoot me. Oh, I'm glad, Yukon. I'm like a beautiful mind when it comes to cable management, huh? Tell us a dad joke. Okay, I'm gonna pull a dad joke. We'll pull a dad joke. We haven't done a dad joke in a while. We need a new dad joke. In fact, even Eric, who's from Intel, was making fun of how old my dad jokes are. So I got to come up with a new one. Okay, I got dad jokes on ready. There we go. Let's pull it up here. Dad jokes, since you guys didn't have to pay channel points for it. See if we can find a good one. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is the difference between a dad joke and a bad joke? The direction the first letter faces. Sorry, that's really good. Oh man, that one was great. Okay, why do pregnant cows have so much energy? They're heavily caffeinated. Okay, last one. If you slap Dwayne Johnson's butt, you officially hit rock bottom. There you go. Those are some good ones. Nobody in the audience is laughing, but it's okay. Oh man, that hurts my soul. That's good though. Those are good jokes. I like that. I like those a lot. I'm glad that we have those ones. Not a certified mom joke. So there's your dad jokes. I gave you a number of them, guys. Okay, so we got 2 more screws, and then we can put in our cable extensions and our GPU and our PSU, and then we're pretty much done, guys. Donezo. Then everybody here gets to watch the build get turned on. Okay, so let's grab our cable extensions real quick. We're gonna peel this. Yeah, baby. It's always a good thing, because that's like my, hey, the AIO is done. Okay, we're gonna grab our cable extensions for the PSU, here we go. You are very welcome. You are very welcome for the dad jokes. I'm here to please. Okay, so we need 3 of these on. Little cable comb action here. It's like my favorite thing. It's almost like knitting. Knitting. We got the Kingston Fury guys hanging out over there talking to the Nook guys. Just talking. It's like starting to wind down here at Dreamhack. We're at the very last, what, hour, maybe hour and a half of the show. We're closing it down with Robeytech. Yeah, we're doing white extensions just to create more. White extensions I really actually enjoy because they reflect the light. So with a lot of RGB, you actually end up with a little bit more versatility. And it's nice to look, yeah. Oh, nice, Igor. And all of a sudden my dreams of becoming a stand-up comedian now gone. I like the deadpan jokes. Those are the best kind, though. We're just putting in our cable extensions right now. Yeah, the white reflects the light better. So they're actually really nice. I've actually done these, choosing a couple of times. The other one, if you wanted something a little bit more light, like a little bit more, maybe even a little less, offensive isn't the right word, but something a little bit less direct, you could do white and black is an option as well. Okay guys, this is the fun part where we have to wire these through. It's never my favorite part. There we go, okay. Okay, we're just getting this in the rubber grommet back in. Okay, so there we go. So we've got those in now. I'm going to do over here, just going to wire them in. Okay, so those then. The other option that you always have, right, which is also pretty nice, which we might actually do in this case, is actually I'm going to change my mind here. I'm actually going to do this a little bit different. So we're going to pull this back through. We're actually going to go this way. There we go, just like that. And now with that, just fixing our rubber grommet here, making sure everything looks good, and pull this in. Pull that down. We'll make sure that looks nice and bent. Clean bend, which is what you want. Okay, cool. We'll just run this down via the back instead. Ends up being a little bit less of a, and then we can just run our other cable on the side, which will actually look nicer. Okay, so that takes care of that. We won't have that bulge, which is always important. Okay, so there we go. Cable extensions are run. Now what we can do is put in our GPU. We're gonna get some nice light reflection off of that. Some nice light reflection off of that. That's not gonna hit anything. Those are good too. Okay, so let's grab our GPU. Put this back on real quick. Okay, GPU time, guys. Everybody likes GPU time. I just realized I'm missing a screw at the top, so we'll have to get that fixed. Let's figure out which screw's missing, because I just found it. Oh, I found it. Okay, one screw was missing. Oh, we found it. This is why we have clean workspaces. There we go right there. Ooh. Okay, time for our GPU. Thanks, Igor. There we go. Now, pull this open. That goes in there. And there is our 3080. There we go right there. Now we're going to grab one, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Close that out. And there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to do our peel, which is always like a process on this card. So the best thing to do is starting at the top. Do it around these little GPU lips like that. And then at each one of these little sections is a little lip of peel. There we go. A little bit more. And one more. Okay, there we go. So that's all like the little sections. And then it just kind of comes off like one big peel. It's always fun and satisfying. If you do it right, there it is, see? And then you can just kind of one big peel. There you go, one big peel there. And now this next part is actually a little bit easier if you put them down. There you go. There you go. There you go. We got one more right over here. There we go. Okay, so that's all peeled now. So what we're going to do here, take our little stubby screwdriver, take that one off. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's now open. Now what we're going to do is take our GPU, just set it right in here. First we're going to peel that off. You thought I would miss it, but I didn't. There we go. Piece in. Okay, screwing it tight. There's that one. Got one more. Okay, so now GPU is in. We're good to go there. Let's grab our PSU cables. And get that set up. Okay, so luckily, unfortunately, just the way this works, we end up having to buy 2 of these because we need another GPU cable. And I need the cable so we'll give him some extra cable extensions here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take these, which there are 4 of them, and this is like the last kind of flourish bit before we throw in our PSU. Okay, so like a little bit of threading right here. Just like that. Grab our little PSU extension, or cable combs. There it is right there. There's the first one. Getting the second one in. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. And then last one. And then we'll put in our other bits. And there we go. Okay, so there's one. Just kind of holds our stuff in place, and now we just need to place the other ones. This is always like a fun part for everybody. Watch Robey put on cable combs. It's going to be like the next blockbuster movie, guys. You wait. There we go. Okay, so there's another one. Again, we're just trying to keep things even here. 2 more to do, guys. Bear with me, patience. We're winding it down here at Dreamhack. Last PC build of the session. Total of 5 PCs built and given away here at the show. 5 very, very different builds. That was the cool thing. They were not the same build. We had 5 very different builds of all varying different capabilities, which is also super cool. 5 very, very grateful winners as well, who many of them we found, we came here at like 2 in the morning and they were playing. It's pretty awesome. Which is always fun. And it was super cool. I mean, these guys so excited to have these systems, and I know Robert's probably pretty excited. Oh, he's here. He's just here hanging out. He's ready to watch his PC he's watching his PC get built. He's talking to Zen. Zen's probably talking smack, though. No, that's not here. But yeah, Robert's going to be the next one to have one of our PCs, and the last one to kind of wrap it up here at the show. There it is. Okay, there we go right there. So this is for our GPU. Boom, boom, boom. That's the way we like it. Just slip in. Run those down here. Oh, forgot about that. Ugh. real quick. There we go. I'm focusing on getting these wires through. Really neat. Lee. There we go. Come on, come on. There we go. One more, come on. There it is, okay. What? Front panel connectors are keeping me from being able to do this the way I want here. And I don't want to do them again because it's always blocked by one cable. Oh, got it. Okay, good. Okay, yes, okay, we're in. Okay, cool. Woo, that was hard. Okay, so that takes care of all those. What we're doing is just making sure all the cables clump up the way they're supposed to. Okay, cool. So that takes care of that. Now what we're gonna do, make sure that last cable's plugged in the way it should. Okay, now we need one more cable extension. We're gonna use a clear one, zip tie. Use a clear one to match the other cables. There we go. We're just zip tying this up real quick. I know you guys can't see this, but it's super engaging. There we go. And then we'll turn this around. You guys will, basically the front of the PC is done. There we go. Okay, so that is what the front of the build will look like. There. So there is the completed front of the PC. Now we got left is just to okay, so that's all done. Now we can put in our PSU. Okay. So all we have left is a couple cables to plug in, and we are done, guys. Okay, we need our PSU. Okay, he doesn't need that. It's our PSU cable, which you'll need. It's all our big group of cables. These we don't need. There we go. Yeah. Let's see here. Just gonna get all of our cables out here. How does this, smells like energy. Smells like joy, guys. Okay, so now we have all of our cables out. I don't know what happened to, there's something that seems to be not in here, but hopefully we'll, it was in here, but now it's not in here. Hopefully we got some in here. Maybe we'll take a look. Okay. Okay, what we don't need this box. There we go. Okay, last bit. So what cables do we need? We need one of those for sure. That's our CPU cable. We need one of those. This is for plugging in our couple SATA cables that we have for our power and stuff like that. So we have this one and this one, right? That's the only two. Okay, cool. So then we don't need that one. That's an extra, so that'll go into the box. We have 2 VGA that we need. There's one. Extra one of those we don't need. Extra one of those we don't need. That is, okay, cool. That's a third, okay, there's our third VGA. Don't need that. Don't need that. CPU, we already have one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's all of the cables that we need for our PSU. Little garbage. Okay, so now we're going to plug them in. So motherboard first. There we go. VGA 1. There we go. VGA 2. And then we have SATA 1. There we go. And then last cable, CPU. Yes. Okay, that takes care of all of our cables for the PSU. Doesn't help when it comes out. It's not supposed to do that. Make sure they're all in. Okay, cool. They're all in. Okay, there we go. Ugh. Okay, so there's our thing ready to get plugged in. Okay, just screwing in our PSU now. 2 more screws, guys, and then that is all the stuff I have to screw in for this build. All we got to do is plug in a couple more power cables, and then this build is finished. There we go. Okay. Done. Let's go ahead and put this down on his face for the last time to finish out the last build of Dreamhack, ladies and gentlemen. So let's start with our 2 fun cables, the little SATA ones, get these taken care of. These 2 right here. We're just gonna get this kind of zip tied together. Okay. There we go. There it is. Okay, there's that. Just gonna kind of put it down there. So so it's just kind of out of the way. Okay, next one we're gonna grab is our CPU. This one's up here on the top. There we go, right there. Grab another cable here. I just realized I have a cable I didn't cut. There we go. Get that one in. Okay. This rig will not only does it look like it'll be a powerhouse, it actually is a powerhouse. There we go. Okay, we're gonna grab a couple more. Just get this cleaned up. There's that one. One more down at the bottom. There we go. Okay, so that takes care of that. What we'll do to get that to stay, there's one more zip tie right there, and then you've got a nice clean look there. Then we've only got 2 more cables. That's a big mitochondria. Yeah, I like the biology jokes, chat. I like the biology jokes. Okay, so there's that. Now we're gonna get our GPU cable in. Let's make sure our GPU works. Kind of wants graphics, I think. There's that one. Man, these are some stiff cables. Okay, 1. Next one, number 2. I like it when a good plan comes together. Okay, there's those, and then we got one more. Okay, there's the GPU. Okay, we're gonna use a couple cables to hide this one now. Just get it kind of cleaned up. There we go. Two more, and I think we're good. Okay. And then all we have is the big PSU cable, and then we are ready to go. Okay. Last of those cables done. It's going to run this like the old spaghetti factory. Okay, that takes care of those. Last cable, we're just going to run it up and in. We need to make sure we have enough room for this to get pulled if we need to, though. Okay, so this one's gonna go right here. Okay, there's that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check to see. Looks good in the front still, which is great. Not popped up or anything, that's what we want. What we'll do here for this last one is just grab this one and grab it with these. There we go. Okay. There we go. And so the back still looks good. The front looks good. But the funny thing about the back is then I just do this. And you can't see the back anymore anyway, but it is what it is. It still looks great. And we'll have to train that other cable will train down. Okay, so we're gonna put the back all the way on now. Which goes on beautifully because it's very well cable managed. Then we're going to take the top. That goes on like that. Top is done. Flip this around. Take our front. There we go. Take the other front. And there we go. The build is complete, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. The entire build is done. So these little bit of cables, let's get the top cleared off real quick. There we go. We got our Core i9 there. Okay, so there it is right there. We actually have a power cable right here. I don't know if it's plugged into anything. We're going to find out. Let's get it going like that. Okay, so let's get Robert back up here. Robert, you ready? Let's go. Let's see if this thing turns on. Now there is a chance. Oh, well, yeah, that's a good sign. Okay, so there definitely is power coming through that thing. Okay, man, so if you just want to push that button right there, that looks good. There it goes. Oh, I'm making sure I don't step into. Now all the fans are going. Now, IQ is funny. It may not start right away. There. Oh no, there's all the fans. Yeah. Want to go around and take a look?
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
Yeah. Okay, so now, guys, now that we've got you get the big moment of the finish, which is the peel. So let's go ahead and put the cover back on. Yeah, you get to do the plastic. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're essentially going to peel from here that way. There, I'll get a little start for you. There you go. Just do it slow. And there it is.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Awesome.
So there it is, guys. This is Robert's new build, an upgrade from a 2600X and a 5700 XT, now a 12900K and an RTX 3080, so a little bit of a slight step up. Anyway, guys, this is the last episode of Mod Workshop from here from Dreamhack. Huge shout out to all of our participants, to Nothing, to Intel, to Razer, and to everybody else who sponsored. I hope you guys had an absolutely amazing convention. We look forward to seeing you at more of these. We got more awesome mod workshops coming up, but outside of that, this is all of us. This is Intel, Robeytech, and the entire Bento and production and everybody team saying thank you very much, and we will see you on the next episode.